tanto jugando suelto como en competición. Tanto si se trata de un rápido 9 hoyos o de un gran 36. Tanto si juegas bajo presión o arrasando, siempre das lo mejor de ti. Nuevo Fuel de FootJoy.
Alrighty. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the 2022 PGA Championship here at Southern Hills Country Club. We are very pleased to be joined by Sam Burns. Sam, welcome to your third PGA Championship. You're ranked in the top 10. You're kind of riding pretty high right now, and it's terrific to see. Does any of that enter into how you prepare to come here, compete, and potentially win a major championship?
Not really. I think, like you said, the biggest thing for me is just trying to make sure that when I tee it up tomorrow, I've done everything I could have done to be 100% ready to go. So that's really what the last 2 or 3 days has looked like here, just trying to figure out and learn as much as I can about the golf course, and just trying to make sure that everything feels like it should, and go from there.
You, of course, going back a little bit, but 2014 you won the boys junior PGA Championship, and I guess I just wanted to ask you to reflect on that victory, what your recollections of it are, and how the whole junior golf experience kind of aided you. You've come to some prominence here on the tour in a relatively short amount of time, and how much that might have played into it.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that's been 8 years ago. But yeah, I mean, you look at that field, and there's a handful, or not more than that, guys that are playing this week, and so I think you look at junior golf for me around that time. There's a ton of really quality players. I think Scotty probably played in that event, Davis Riley, and I'm sure there's some others. But yeah, so I mean, you work your way through junior golf, and you just try to figure out how you can improve and start trying to beat really good players, and then into college and amateur golf, and then as you turn professional too, just trying to find ways to improve. And that's all me and my team have tried to do, is just continue to improve and find areas where we can get better and try to attack those areas.
Do those relationships you form as juniors, they carry through, don't they? And they must help, especially in your early days out here on tour alone. You can lean on one another.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to, especially for me when I first got out here, to see a familiar face, just have somebody to go play with or talk to or reminisce on, tournaments like that. And so, yeah, it definitely helps you to be comfortable. And it's always, we always joke around from those experiences and some of those rounds of golf that we've played together.
Yep. So after 3 days, what do you know about Southern Hills, and what are the things that you're going to have to be careful about or focus on?
Yeah, I mean, for one, it's a fantastic golf course. I love the way the holes kind of shape. It makes you kind of hit different shots, and there's just a lot of different ways to play it. There's so many different options that they can set the golf course up. Especially with different wind directions that we're going to get. But yeah, coming into the greens, you got to be hitting your spots. You can get a couple areas where the runoffs are pretty severe. Like number 10, if you miss it left of that green, it goes all the way down 50 yards into the rough. So it's stuff like that where you may be 130 yards, but the penalty is pretty extreme if you hit a bad shot. So that's how this place can get you, really. And so you've got to drive the ball well. You've got to be very disciplined into the greens here, and then you've got to lag putt it really well.
So it's always tough to predict scoring, but I mean, from what I hear from you and from other people, I mean, being under par, being close to par is not going to be bad here this week, no? So
yeah, I mean, I don't know what the number is, but I would think, coming down the stretch when you get to the back nine, if you're somewhere under par, I think you may have a pretty good chance. I mean, it seems like someone goes out, Thursday, Friday, and always, shoots a couple really good rounds, and then kind of anything can happen from there. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think the golf course is, like I said, it's very demanding, and I'm really excited to see how it plays out.
We've talked a lot about the demands of the golf course, the dangers, but maybe an attribute or a portion of the golf course that can be taken advantage of, especially as it relays back to your game. Where do you think you can get something on this golf course?
Well, I think if your iron play is sharp, you're going to have some good opportunities. you know, it's just one of those things where you can hit it to, you know, you can hit a really good shot at 20 feet, but you may have a 20-footer that breaks 6 feet. So it's stuff like that where, you know, if you have 20 feet and it's breaking 6 feet, you have to be a little more defensive than you normally would. But if you can leave it in the right spots, then you can make some birdies.
So I think there's a tradition maybe with the PGA Championship of being physically demanding, no? And mentally like any other major.
Sure.
Do you think that's the case, and why?
Well, I think for starters, we're in Oklahoma in May. It's going to be pretty warm this week, so I think that'll be pretty physically demanding. But you know, it's a major championship. It's you know, it's going to be a grind out there. You know, it's going to be, you're going to have some stretches where, you know, the golf's going to be tough, and you just got to kind of grind it out and continue to kind of push forward and press on, and not let that kind of distract you or mess you up for the next few holes. So I think that's the really challenge this week, is just try to be steady out there, kind of one foot in front of the other, and just try to play as best golf you can.
Did your college golf at LSU bring you up in Oklahoma to play any, or have you been kind of steering clear of the state?
Yeah, we never played here. We played some at Carson Creek. You know, we're in Stillwater, but that's also another challenging golf course. I don't know, maybe that's the thing in Oklahoma, to have really tough golf courses. I don't know.
Maybe it is.
Good.
Okay. Sam, thanks for finding us. Have a terrific week, and represent us as the 2014 Boys Junior PGA Champion.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
sir.
it. Thanks.
El nuevo Pro SL no tiene clavos, pero tiene un agarre increíble. Con una plancha de carbono adicional para optimizar el retorno de energía y un nuevo y moderno diseño, el zapato original de máximo rendimiento sin clavos tiene algunas ventajas importantes.